But with this film, I struggled to.
You're Amitabh Bachchan as a child and you have this thing. But I genuinely believe the best performance in Power is his because it was the most complex role.
My mother is not strict.
He's the soft.
She's the
Really?
She's the one you go running to when you're hurt as a kid.
He is
Yeah. She's particular.
She's particular. Have you seen her videos, the
She's
viral videos
particular.
also?
No.
Enough bad things you're hearing, and why do you want another constructive criticism? I don't believe in all this constructive. There's nothing like constructive criticism. There's only destructive criticism. They tell me nice, good, bad, go. Don't say bad, say good and go.
Okay.
That's what. I like false. You even lie to me, it's okay. I prefer the lie than the truth.
Wrong or bad or negative written about their
Absolutely.
progeny. And I feel the same way as a family member. I expect people to respect personal boundaries.
Hi, this is Amina Sheikh here on Zoom, and with me today I have R.Balki sir, Saiyami Kher and Abhishek Bachchan, welcoming all of them as they present Ghoomer to us.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's lovely to have all of you on board. The lovely trailer, Saiyami, I praised it a lot. I was the first one, luckily, to see the trailer that day, and it was very good. I saw your role, I saw Abhishek Bachchan's role, and I think both of you have different kind of chemistry around your work while talking about it. So how was it, playing a role so difficult? It's not that easy for you, and at the same time, you have been a cricketer.
Thank you, Samina. And I'm glad you liked the trailer. And please tell more and more people about it. But it's been the most exciting project I've done in my life so far. And it's not that our interview mein bolte hai ki this is the most. This is genuinely the most exciting project I've done so far because I love the sport. I'm obsessed with the sport. It is a story of somebody who has won against all odds. She has won against life. So I think emotionally it was a big learning for me as a person as well. Not only in the film, as a person it taught me a lot. It changed me in many ways. So there was a lot that this film gave to me. Working with AB again, that's always a lot of fun. And like I said in the trailer launch with our MS Dhoni, R.Balki, he's somebody who is like this. You don't get too much reaction, but the whole team together was so much of fun. And I'm glad that this is coming out in the theatres.
R.Balki sir, as we talk about the trailer, you're also reuniting with Abhishek after a very long time. It's like after Pa almost, right? So how that reuniting with him was for you? Working with him after a very long time, because this movie itself is very different. He's also in a character where he has his own downfall. He's going through something, but at the same time, he's trying to make her focus on her vision, on her journey. So how was it like, bringing back AB's other side of it?
No, I never thought of it that way. And
Yeah.
I never thought of this word reuniting. The thing is, I've always worked with him. We worked a lot besides Pa. I think we worked a lot in a lot of ads too. Idea was a big campaign, so I used to meet him very often. And we've kind of kept in touch only, so it's not like a reunion. I believe he's one of the most, I have said this many times, of course, there's a lot of depth and all that thing that goes without saying as an actor. But he's possibly one of the most modern actors that I've seen. When I say modern, I mean that there's a way you kind of appeal, way you express a certain emotion, which appeals to today's people. And in a strange way, his dad is also like that because what he did in the 70s still appeals to a lot of young people today. The ridiculous things that were there, dog collar, bell bottom, then he's still the coolest guy today when you see those damn movies. So he's got that ability to kind of pitch it just absolutely right. It's subtle with the throw. There's subtlety, but the throw is there. You need to reach people. You can't just be subtle and get lost in subtlety. He's got that ability. And I just think because he's so casual about his abilities that you don't really see the volcano of talent that there is. It comes through very effortlessly. And that's what I've always loved about him. I mean, you think he's kind of faffing and he's doing all kinds of things and all that. It just comes out just like that. Because I think there are ways people prepare for a character. Sometimes there are various ways to kind of, cricketers kind of twirl their bats and do that, look at the sky, go away nervously, fidgeting, pat the pitch. Actors do a lot of things. And I think we as an industry don't understand a lot of times what it takes for an actor to prepare at that moment, not behind the scenes, not after, at that point of moment, to be in the zone. Because it's a very crowded zone. It's a very, ruthless zone. Everybody's shouting at everybody out there, and here you're asking somebody to be really sensitive about something, and he has to filter all the noise all around them and kind of be there. And that
Correct.
requires a tremendous amount of skill.
Abhishek, coming to you and your character for that matter, you are very aggressive and assertive, in the character you're playing. At the same time, you as a person, individually comes across as a very warm person, warm and welcoming and all. The character is very different as compared to your personality, what we have seen over the years. Was it difficult to also jump to that character, then come back and regain to your own originality for that matter?
No. It's weird. I don't know,
Basically, it's
A
like
lot-
bouncing back to what exactly
yes,
you are.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
We ask this question very often. Do you take your work home? How is it possible to switch off? I think there are always traces of the character that always stay with you because you've put yourself into that character. But actually, it's I think this whole thing, the whole process is romanticized a lot more than it actually is. Once it's like a switch, I think, to a certain level. Once the director says cut, okay, theek hai, abhi kya hai, khane mein kya hai ye? It's pretty normal. No?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you feel the same
He
thing?
did the
I
most
mean, it probably is his experience.
Exactly.
And it is his, like Balki was saying, being casual about everything. And he's just been around and done so much work that probably it's easier. But with this film, I struggle to,
Yeah?
yeah.
No, I'll tell you something I realized in Pa. And I said this to both Amitji and Vidya. I think, see, sometimes when you see a film, and we are, as an audience, of course, you react to the characters and everything else. You have Amitabh Bachchan as a child and you have this thing. But I genuinely believe the best performance in Pa was his because it was the most complex role. You're standing behind, you've committed a mistake and you don't know what to do. And you're trying to handle this specimen that you've created in the world.
Oh, you're talking about me?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Pa.
No. I really believe that was the most complicated role. And you see the intensity in that. I mean, he came across very casually. He was shooting something else. It took me about 1.5 years for me to convince him about Pa. But he came from somewhere and, okay, what do you want me to wear? Okay, such, okay, I'll wear the glasses, I'll wear the kurta, pajama.
Yeah.
On the morning of the shoot is when I met him.
Okay.
Actually, he came into somewhere and he said this, okay, what do you want me to say? Fine. Bang on pitch, just there. It's a damn tough role to see. If you see the film again, his will be the most difficult role to kind of perform.
Have you ever come across as a person who's been a bit harsh on you but trying to improve you? As the person who is in this, in this movie, Ghoomer, who's been like, a bit harsh to you and like, trying to just, wanting it to be in a certain manner.
I can't speak for everybody. I think as human beings, instead of being applauded for your achievement, it's more important to be encouraged to achieve. Encouragement is, I think, a huge boon to anybody. But as life is not just a bed of roses, and I think tough love is something that all of us receive. I think the greatest coaches in life, I'm an avid sports fan, and one thing I've noticed is a great coach is predominantly somebody who gives out a lot of tough love. You need to know when to mollycoddle them, but most of the time you need to know when to whip them. Because you're dealing in sports, you're dealing with the elite athlete.
Correct.
So they know that they're talented, what their capabilities are. In order to push them beyond that, you can't be loving and requesting them. They need that cattle prodding. So I think most great coaches are going to be people who are going to be strict on you, who are going to put you in a situation and a mindset that will somehow make you feel, no, I have to do better. Not I can do better, I have to do better.
Correct.
And that, I think, comes out with a lot of tough love, which is what Paddy does in the film. So I've encountered many such people. Many such people.
And someone, if you remember, like, very properly, or you have those memories that, okay, if this person was not in my life, I would have not been where I am. Or, maybe I would have not pushed the
There are
borders.
innumerable amount of people that have been there in my life. And I think that's a huge blessing. I consider it to be a huge blessing. That you have people that are not going to mollycoddle you. And after a point of time, you don't want to be mollycoddled. You want to be taught, you want to be directed, you want to be pushed. So they're innumerable. There are far too many to take names of. Yeah.
And you also recently said that, parents are the best coach. So for that matter, if you have to talk about Big B and Jaya ji, Jaya ji does come across like someone who's very strict. What do you have to say about them, as parents when it came to coaching you for your career in acting because you were completely a newbie when you joined. But at the same time, you had someone in your family who comes with a history of acting.
So that answer came out of what a true mentor or a coach should be. And I said, if you see all this, the umbrella, that's basically what parents do. Contrary to maybe public opinion, what you say, my mother is not strict.
She's the soft.
Really?
She's the one you go running to when you're hurt as a kid.
She is
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. She's particular.
She's particular. Have you seen her videos, the
She's
viral videos
particular.
also?
No, she's
The pap
particular. But my mom, I mean, for me, it's very difficult because my father means what he does to me. And more in that father-son dynamic, for any son, they very reluctantly will admit to it that their hero is their father and they want to be like their fathers. But your mother is Ma. And I've always said that, that word Ma encapsulates pure love. And that's the first person you think of. So for me, it's been both. I mean, when I was a child, my father unfortunately was hardly around because he was so busy working. I mean, there were weeks on end where we used to not see him, and he was in the next room. But he used to come back from shooting after we had gone to sleep, and he used to leave before we woke up. That's how hard they used to work. And the person who never allowed me and my sister to feel that void was my mother. And that can only be done through love. So I think parents are the perfect balance of both. I think today I'm a father, and I see the way my daughter reacts to me. She's my buddy, she's my friend. But anything goes wrong, the first person she's looking for is, where's mom? And I think every child looks for their mother, and that mother, wonderfully so, just occupies that space. That's your go-to person. So I think, parents will always be your first coaches. They teach you from how to walk to how to speak. They're the first people around who are doing that. So they are the ultimate coaches, and that's where that came from.
R.Balki sir, coming to you, you have made a film like Chup, and which was, very much talked about, and it was more of critics, talking about how they react, and it was a very different story altogether. Do you also look forward to, say, box office numbers or, say, critics' reviews for your movies? Does your success somewhere depend on these characteristics, for that matter? Same to you, Abhishek and Saiyami. I would like to ask all the three about this. Do you somewhere rely on the critics' reviews and, say, box office numbers, for that matter, for the success of your movies?
See, if the film is not successful or it doesn't recover the money for the people who've invested in it, then I think it's a self-indulgent exercise. Of course, some things you do with the best of intention doesn't work, but most of it should. At least kind of not make a loss for most people. So that's critical. Who doesn't want a film to be seen by more people? Of course they want. But critics, I have my lovely relationship with them. The thing is, because see, a critic, the problem I always find is, and this is from my first film I had, like I said, in Chup. The thing is, it's a person's opinion, and a very valid person's opinion, but the person has the power to influence a lot of people. And how that person uses the power is very, very important, because I'm giving you my baby for you to tell a whole set of people around you. Because I don't have that power. You have it. And you can't say it's my subjective opinion, because your subjective opinion is, a lot of people are waiting. What's your opinion? I'll have the same opinion. It's almost like that.
Exactly.
There are still millions and millions of people who follow people's opinions. So it's very important for a critic to sit back and just think about a creation, because a lot of people are going to come around to their opinion or be influenced by them. So I always believe that there are, of course, wonderful critics. There are few wonderful critics. But a lot of them, it's almost like tak bola. Arey acha nahi yaar, bakwas hai. It's the things that people write. There are many people who come and told me that this is how I think the film should have been. I said, you make it now. Why should I make it? You make it then if you want to make the film. Then I will be the critic. Then I'll tell you what it is. That's not what a critic is. A lot of people take the criticism angle very, very differently. So I've done a whole lot of studies on this. I've studied a lot about criticism and how it should be done. So I've spoken at length around it. So currently today, no, I think I don't read. I don't read again.
Okay.
I read everything that was ever written about me before Chup so that I could write, but now I don't read again.
Oh, okay.
Because it just, just kind of hurts, because I always say, objectively, would you like to know criticism? Would you like to improve? No, I don't want to improve. I don't want to do anything. I want to hear only good things. If you have good things to say, come and tell me. Otherwise, please don't tell me.
Okay.
I say enough bad things you're hearing. Why do you want another constructive criticism? I don't believe in all this constructive. There's nothing like constructive criticism. There's only destructive criticism. They tell me nice, good, bad, go. Don't say bad. Say good and go.
Okay.
That's all. I like false. Even lie to me, it's okay. I prefer the lie than the truth.
But I remember, AB, you told me this. In I like the way you saying, like, keep it good only. But it's good. It's actually good, to be honest. You know what you're trying to say.
Positive things.
Exactly.
I hear about positivity.
Yeah, we are all about positivity.
Yeah,
After the
negative things
entire
are the world, yeah. We don't have to pull each
lockdown, I
other
feel
down.
like it's much in that zone. But also, AB, coming back to you also told in one of our conversations a few months back, and which was during your movie for Netflix with Nimrat Kaur. That time you said that you sometimes save your critics, review or say, what they have written, so that it becomes easier for you to work on what your characters are, or say, okay, this is negative, maybe this is where I may be lacking, or I want to improve on that. Do you still do that?
Yes.
Okay. And has it helped you?
I have a very different approach to him. I understand where he's coming from, and there's a lot of justification in that. For me, my perspective is a bit skewed from the normal black and white of it. The way I look at it, and I've always looked at it, is here's somebody who's telling you for free what you need to improve. And for me, the way I look at my audience is everyone matters and everybody counts, including a film critic. And today, everybody is a film critic. We all have our own individual soapboxes to stand on and preach. So everybody has a point of view, and it's my duty as an actor, as an entertainer in a commercial medium, to listen to everybody and work on myself. So I still take a lot of the points, if they're negative, to say, okay, this is what I perhaps did not get right in the last one. Let me try and improve upon it in the next one. So I attribute a lot of the actor I am today, for whatever that is, to what I've learned from the people who have criticized my work, because they were telling me how to improve. So I look upon it like that. You're not criticizing me, you're guiding me how to improve.
But coming to your social media game, that is where you're very strong. When it comes to sometimes, some people really cross their lines, on social media, and you give it back very, very, in a very affirmative way also, and in a way where, they need to know where to draw the line. Do you also feel that there is this necessity of somewhere telling people that, you're crossing your line? Because sometimes with actors, we feel like, most of the people around us feel that they are actors, we have got them, we have made them.
And
They forget to, of course, they have worked on that, but at the same time, sometimes they forget that even actors have worked on their characters to be where they are. Sometimes they,
at the end of the day, your audience is the reason you are who you are, and they make you and they break you, and you have to respect that. But you have to draw the line when it becomes personal, because we're also human beings. We also feel bad. We also hurt. We have families. I've always said social media, I'm on that platform, so I'm open to everything, and it's fine. Everything is fair game. My family is out of bounds. That's the line I draw, and something I would not want to tolerate. In that, it's a bit more complicated for me, because 3 of my family members are actors in their own right. So by virtue of being public figures, they're open to public scrutiny to a particular level. But they're also my family. My daughter is, out of bounds, in the sense, I don't think any parent would tolerate anything wrong or bad or negative written about their progeny. And I feel the same way as a family member. I expect people to respect personal boundaries. If they don't, that's fine. Then it's my choice on whether I want to indulge in a conversation with you or not.
Coming to you, Saiyami, playing a cricketer off screen also and on screen, how was that for you? Because you have been a cricketer, is what I got to know from R.Balki sir. You have done that, in your past. So how was it like this one especially? Because here you don't have, one of the hands, and it's not that easy to, get into that character also. And I got to know how you prepared for the role and all. And it was not that easier job. So how was it for you, if you have to talk about this especially?
Well, like we started the interview with me saying it is the most exciting and most special film I've done. I used to play when I was in school and college, and I could professionally when I was in school and college. But after that, I kind of played with friends and like gully cricket in Bombay and stuff like that. I still try and get time out to play. I love the sport. So it was, the dream, because he used to say that come to set, like run and come to set. So like the prep, when we were shooting, I used to go whatever 3, 4, I don't know how many kilometers it was. I used to run to set, hardly be in the van. It used to just be like straight
Which was
getting.
her cool down because she's already run 10 kilometers on the treadmill before that.
What, really?
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
I used to run to set, then we used to play. So it was just a very cricket obsessed set because all three of us really liked the game. So on set, even when we were not shooting, Balki Bile will come bowl. So in between lunch break, he wanted to bat, or AB was bowling. So there was just a lot of cricket obsession even when we were not filming.
Huh.
And I think that I hope has translated, because we really genuinely are true fans of the sport, and like he was saying, we want to give back to the sport. So I've said this from, I think, my first film, because you always ask these certain questions. What is your dream role? This is like a certain question that's always been asked to me from the first film, and it's always been this. So now I have to think of what my dream role is going to be, because this was the dream role.
In fact, even for you, AB, for that matter, you are ambidextrous, is what you said. While doing this role, so you were finding it very difficult to, to bowl or to, play that character. So finally, but you had your own approach to it. You had someone to guide you. Do you also feel that sometimes, there are people, of course, who guide you, but when it comes out, you sometimes look for perfection a lot in your characters?
No.
No?
And with all due respect and admiration for people who do, I believe, apart from human beings, but your character should be flawed. That's when
Okay.
they become interesting. I like grey characters. I like characters that are not just morally correct all the time. I like that dichotomy. I think that makes it more real, makes the character more tactile, more visceral. And I like that. So I've actually shied away from those kind of characters.
Okay.
Especially of late. To fall and then rise is true heroism. And for somebody to deal with their darkness or with their negativity and still emerge is a true hero. And I enjoy that. So the one thing I definitely don't look for in a character that I'm going to be essaying is perfection.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And I really enjoyed the interview, the trailer, and looking forward to the movie.
Thank
But
you.
before I let all of you go, there's one message for your fans out there who will soon be watching Ghoomer.
Say only nice things to Balki.
Say only nice things to
Yeah, just like it.
just like it.
No, but come enjoy it in cinemas. On the 18th, I think it's going to be a carnival experience. Hi, this is R.Balki.
Hello, this is Saiyami Kher,
Hello, I'm Abhishek Bachchan.
and you're watching us on Zoom.
You're watching us on Zoom.
You are watching me on Zoom.